Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear our host, Andy Albright.
Hey, Billy. Thank you, man, for introducing me. I am working over here. Give me a second. I'm working. Did my background just change? I'm good. I'm going to tell you, boys, I'm good. A few people took Tia up on this, and she created their background for them. This one I like a lot so far. You can click here, and you got all my contact information, all my social media. Or not click. You just hover over it. Try it. See if that works, guys. Hover over it and see if you can see my social media. If you don't have a ticket to our next big convention, you can hover on that and get your ticket. What do you think about that, boys? So I have 3 top producers that happen to be found on the Paul Roberts team. They are not the 3 biggest, but these 2 are number 1 and number 2. And the other gentleman is, I think, number 5 or 6, but he's a good talker. And he's got some good information I want to share with you. So I'm excited about this. I know this was heavily promoted and got a lot of questions about it. People excited about it. They go, yeah, I want to hear what these guys are doing and how it's happening. So I have Joe 2, who is massive in the company. Let me see if I can give you some statistics. Come on here, Joe. If you can we see all y'all loud and clear? Can we go ahead and bring all 3 of them on staff? Can you make that happen for me? Is that too big of a request? All right. Joe 2 has written $201,000 in issue paid premium. He just got promoted to vice president. Got a big hierarchy coming on. One of the smartest people I know. I'm leaving out any negative, Joe, because you ain't perfect, but I'm leaving it out. I'm just going with the positive today. He is, he's a good guy. 201,000 in our company that ranks number 6. Now let me be clear. I'm not happy about that, Joe. At 201,000, to me, you should be ranked 37. I can think of 36 people that can outsell you for whatever reason they ain't. You know, Joe, most people judge everybody on they judge themselves on their intent. They judge other people on what they do. Does that make sense? So they say, I intended to beat Joe, so therefore I did. Or they say, I could beat Joe because therefore I did. But they judge you, Joe, on what you do. Ain't that weird? So in other words, let's say you suck. They're going to laugh at you. But themselves, if they suck, they talk about their intentions and their plans and their future, not their history. They act like history don't matter. When they're hiring people, let me tell you this. Joe learned this last time, Eric. Don't tell me what a person wants and tell me how entrepreneurial and how he'll do what we say and how he wants to be rich. Don't tell me that. Tell me where he graduated from. Tell me where he went to college. Tell me what promotion level he was in the military. Tell me if he was special forces or if he was sweeping floors in the military and never got out of the E2 range. No offense to the E2s. I love y'all too. Appreciate you serving the country, and floors do need to be swept. But tell me what you did. But people judge themselves on what they're going to do. Remember that. I'm going to tell you what, that HMA people are the best follow-up peoples in the world. Y'all need to get your HMA. All right. So Joe 2, is that a virtual background or is that your unbelievable palace?
Yeah, I got 4 kids, so you figure that out.
I don't see no trash laying around. That pretty woman. Let's also, you have somebody clean your house, Joe?
I don't clean it.
What'd you say?
I said, I don't clean it.
I love you, Joe. Y'all know when we started, it was just me, and then I added 2. Get it? Me and Joe, 2. Then there were 2 of us. Joe, tell them about your education and what you did in the past, where you went to school, what you graduated, got your stamp, and some of your, just maybe 2 of your high-level jobs.
Sure, yeah. So, hey, Andy, first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. Always a privilege and honor to be on here. Always love to just share how we're winning, right? Because we're winning right now. It's exciting. Thank you for just putting together this platform. I mean, it's amazing, and everyone needs to plug in. Everyone needs to plug in. Going back to my education background, well, hey, I'm from New York City originally, so I grew up in Queens. I don't know, have you ever been to Queens, Andy?
Where is that? I know it's New York. What's around there?
Yeah, so it's like one of the 5 boroughs. It's, like New York City.
Do they have plays there where you go to plays?
Well, there's Manhattan, where everyone knows, right? And Queens is kind of where you fly in, right? The 2 airports. So if you ever flown into New York, you probably flew in to either JFK or
I've been to New York. I've been to New York 100 times. Private jet, commercial. Long time ago, I used to fly commercial into New York. That was weird. Now private jet. We land in a place called Teterboro. Teterboro. That's where we land. Is Teterboro anywhere near Queens?
Teterboro is in New Jersey, actually.
Oh, really? And then we drive into New York?
And then drive into New York. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so anyway,
sometimes I do land at the commercial airport because they get me out and take me, maybe not, but they take me to the commercial. Like if I'm going to go to Africa, I get my jet to fly me to the commercial airport. Okay, that's not the point. Queens, that's where you from.
Not super glamorous, grew up in a modest home. We weren't starving or anything, right? We were fed, we had clothes, but we didn't have like a whole lot, right? And grew up in a home. There's 4 of us, my sister, myself, my parents, and we had 1 bathroom, right? So again, had a roof over our heads, and that was great, but my parents were big into education, right? So ever since I was little, they would send, the neighborhood I was in wasn't great. So they send me out to one of these, I guess you call a charter school, magnet school, right about 15 minutes out. Mm-hmm. And from there, I ended up, going to high school in Manhattan. So I had to take a subway. You ever been on the subway, Andy?
Yeah, I've been on subway.
Yeah. And so it was like 45-hour train ride in high school, and worked hard and ended up going to NYU for undergrad. So obviously my parents couldn't afford NYU, but I got a scholarship. So that's how I got in, went there.
You hear me? Not going to get, scholarship.
Got a scholarship.
Check.
Economics major, just kind of liked kind of fooling with numbers, and then ended up going to NYU for grad school as well. Majored in finance, got my master's there. So NYU got all my tuition money, Andy.
Somebody got to get it.
Yeah.
So you got an undergraduate in economics, master's degree in finance. Give me a couple of your high-level jobs, too.
Sure. So, worked at big companies and little companies. When I first started, I worked for investment bank, and I learned a lot there. Got involved in resort development projects. So that was a pretty cool job, actually. Working for clients like Club Med, resort development. Hey, not a bad gig, right? To start out of school.
Were you in finance or were you in?
I was in finance. Yeah. So we were helping, like mergers and acquisitions, acquiring properties, consulting with, clients like Club Med, putting together development projects for them. Yeah. So learned a lot of fun, and it was great. Like I said, I like numbers, and I learned a lot. Ended up going to grad school, and then I worked for a couple of investment banks, merchant banks, and then investment companies. About 10 years ago, with 3 kids under 5, it was time to make a change. Right, New York City is not the best place to raise a family.
So here's what people tell me, Eric and Michael. They go, "Of course he does that. He's smart. Of course he's successful. He's smart." Well, of course he is. I'm not smart. Okay. So what? What's your point? Why are you telling me that your organization is not smart and you're not? Does that make sense? How about you recruit Joe And then, of course, he's in the top 10. I really don't like you being top 10. You should be like 36 in the company. And we need to have 35 people whooping your butt. But right now, the best organization I got, you rank 6. You see what I'm saying? Like, I wish I had a better team, and I wish I had somebody that was more ambitious, younger, sharper, brighter, quicker-witted, follow the system quicker, and would pass Joe. Watch this. We might. In his team. Dude, he introduced me to a dude. I did a Zoom call. God almighty, that young guy, the investment guy, is he watching this show too?
He is. He's on. He's got a couple people on as well.
I'm coming after that dude. He's sharper than you, Bo. He's younger than you, smarter than you, more aggressive than you, more ambitious. He thinks he is. Don't he? Don't he think he is?
That's great.
Answer me. Do you think he thinks he's smarter than you?
Does he think he's smart? He probably does.
Oh, I know he do. I talked to him one time. I said that guy thinks he's smarter than too. So now Toe has a smart team. You see what I'm saying, Eric? People say, how do I get smart people? Talk to smart people. If you want a tall person, you should talk to tall people. You said, what do I do about short people? What are you asking? I don't know what you're asking. I have this guy, he's like, oh, anybody can do it on my team. I go, on my team, I try to get people that already done something. You said, well, you discriminating against people that ain't done nothing. They're dumb and they're down and out. No, I'm not discriminating again. I don't even know what you're talking about. I know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a basketball team. You got tall people, quick people, fast people, smart people. They know how to pass. They know the rules. I don't want somebody calling. Let's say we out of timeouts and a player calls a timeout. You know what that results in? A technical. If we were out of timeouts, you called a timeout. Well, I thought, I don't need you to think. I need you to know the rules and obey the rules so we win a championship. 5 fouls, you're out. 4 and 2, quit fouling. At 3, you get 3 in the first half, you're sitting on the bench. Don't start whining when you come and walk over to the bench, neither. Baby T, that's one of our players. 3 fouls in 2 minutes. They set him on the bench the rest of the half. He's complaining the whole time. And coach loves him and trusts him, but God, come on, man. You see what I'm saying, too? Your guy, and I like all of them. By the way, 2, let me see. Let's see where he's ranked. He's also guy on his team. What's your number one salesman besides you? I know you number one on your team, too, but who else? What's the guy's name?
So we got Adrian.
Hold on. A-D-R-I. How you spell Adrian? A-D-R-I.
R-I-A-N. Yep.
Yeah, here he is. Listen to this. He's ranked 48 in the company. You said that ain't good. Yeah, it's better than being 49. He's 48. Is his last name start with an A, like a Ponte or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, here he is. I'm going to pull up the one where I got last names. Hold on a second. Here we go. I got the one with my last names. That way I know him for sure. All right. And make sure.
Well, Andy, we've got 2, I believe, in the top 5 rookie list. If you look at the rookies list.
Listen, let me tell you something. You got to rank them in the bigger pool. But you can't rank them in a mud puddle. You got to rank them in a big pond, like in the ocean. Don't tell me he's he's number 2 in your company. He's number 3 on another little company, number 4 on another company. I'm talking about the real company. He's 48. Give me that. You hear what he tried to do, Eric? Hold on a second. Let me see. I'm gonna do a Ponte. AP. Yep, there he is right there. Number 48 in the company. Listen to this. 89,000. But let me be clear. Let me help him. How long's he been with us, too?
He's been with us about 6 months.
Okay, let's be clear.
He didn't really produce until after NatCon, Dallas.
He's only been with us 6 months, and he's passed 7,332 people, and he's number 48. Does that make sense? Like, watch. Like, let me show you. See, here's the people that are sold with me. Look. You can't see it. Let's see if we see it. You see it? It's just scrolling down. Thousands of people. I'm scrolling down. He's done passed them all. He's number 48 in the country. So which one is it? Is he only 48, or has he passed 7,632 people? Which is it? You with me? Which is it? I think it's both. So you see what I'm saying, too? He should not be 48 in this company. He should be 162 because he just started. He didn't know the products. He didn't know the system. He didn't know all the valuable things we have, but he's passed all those people. 2, you got a good one. I had him on stage at the View. Was it at the View? Yeah, at the View. And he's got street smarts and an earring. You can't beat street smarts and an earring, can you, too?
EJ can pull it off.
Earrings. I think he had 2 earrings. You got street smarts, 2 earrings. How you going to argue with that kind of logic? And he's Norman 48, done passed everybody else in the country, but 48 people. And I guarantee you, he's got plans to pass more than that. It's kind of terrible, kind of good, kind of terrible. All right. So, 2, I'm going to come back to you, but let me tell y'all something. When I met 2, I interviewed him. I'm talking to him. I was like, this dude's smart. I'm not going to say anything negative. I'm just going to go with this dude's smart. Okay. I met his wife. I was like, this dude can sell. This dude can sell. I met his kids. I said, he's got a good plan. He's got a good game plan for life. What he wanted to do was explode his business. And I explained it to him, and he ignored me. And I explained it to him, and he ignored me. Oh, I'm a little negative there, but let me tell you, it took me a while because he's really smart and got a master's degree in finance, and he's had some big jobs, so he's smart. So he felt like he knew everything. A lot of people get like that, okay? They get like that. Or you get them making $300,000, and then they think they know everything. I mean, it's kind of human nature. I'm the same way. You know, that's why I try to watch how I am. I review. I go, wait. Let me make sure I'm not being an idiot because I think I know everything. So I consult. I got several people that I consult with, but you got to be careful who you consult with because if you consult with an idiot, you're going to get idiotic advice. You got to be careful because when you put down your conscious mind and you let people talk to you and it's the wrong person, screwed. You with me? That's bad news. So I'm talking to this dude. He act like he knows everything. And I here's what I say to myself, Eric. Well, he should. He's smart as everything. But I got to get through to him. So I'm going to let him talk about how many times I told him before he heard it. I'm going to let you talk about what made you finally hear it. And then what are results, Joe? And y'all probably won't get to talk no more when I ask him all that. That'll be over with because he's going to mess you up. All right, let's do another one right here. Michael Reeves. Michael,
sir,
can you get an audio? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing good. So me and you recently, we've recently connected. Did you have a hat on doing a call with Eric yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was
I
me.
thought that was the same you. I wondered if that was you. I didn't watch it long enough to figure that out. But tell me, what's your educational background, military background, family background, just a high level?
Well, sure. Yeah, I went to school, a smaller school called University of Mary Hardin Baylor. So it's kind of Baylor University's stepsister. But I studied psychology and business there, and grew up in Central Texas. Not military myself. My dad's a Vietnam veteran, and I grew up in a veteran household, and definitely have a deep-seated love and appreciation for anybody that served, especially our veterans. And just been in Central Texas my whole life. If you drew a triangle from Baylor University down to the University of Texas over to Texas A&M University, if you're familiar with Texas, I live still pretty much in the center of that triangle.
Did you get that stamp on a degree, or did you just get halfway through? And
well, gave a little bit of history. I right out of high school, I went to college like everybody else, and after about a year, I had a GPA of I think 0.5, and came out of that, took a few years off, went back to school as a as a more mature adult, and it's in their University of Mary Hardin Baylor. And unfortunately, I did not get that final step. I got an opportunity to make a little money, and had some health issues in my family, so I had to go and get 2 jobs. So I stepped away.
Health issue in your family. You stepped away from education and went to work. Is that right?
That's well,
how old
never stopped working.
How
added more
how
work.
old were you? How old were you when that happened?
I was 25, 26 years old.
All right. So let me tell you this. If I hear that, I'm backing up. I'm like, God, all right, cool. So I go, hey, let's try a different angle. Any sales background, anything you've done that tells me that you ain't scared, or networking, recruiting, anything like that in your background?
Back in the 90s, part of that extra work to make more money, I got involved in network marketing. I've been involved with network marketing off and on. So recruiting, selling, all that sort of thing. In my career, you get to sell yourself every day, but I was in retail with a couple of companies, about 30 years in retail. And I actually own my own business, brick and mortar. I was building computers and selling internet service back in the late 90s as another way to make money. So I've always been involved in front of people.
Can you see the cold chills coming up on me? You see my cold chills coming up on me? See, now he just said master's degree, PhD, baby. You with me? I said, oh, we got somebody. What network marketing company were you with?
Well, the first one was Amway back in the 90s.
See, now we're brothers from another mother's. 91's when I got signed up with Amway. What group was you in?
I was, I think I got in about 92 with Dexter Yeager's organization, and did that for about 7 years.
PhD, baby. See, now we start talking 66866. We start talking cassette tapes, 18 player steps. We on the same language. You see what I'm saying? So like, ooh, why are you not a multimillionaire? Oh, because you're not part of the right system yet. Why is my man with a master's degree in finance not a multimillionaire? Not part of the right system. Ooh. Maybe not had the right person to listen to. Maybe not been coached by somebody that had money. Maybe he's coached by somebody that was broke. You with me? Like, listen, let me tell you something. If you're at a job, let me ask you this, Joe. This is a simple question, so this is easy with me. Have you ever worked for people that you were positive you were smarter than they were, and you weren't impressed with their life? They were above you, and you weren't impressed with their lifestyle. Has that happened?
Heck yeah.
You like, when I get promoted, I'm going to have his job. That's not good. I don't want that. You follow what I'm saying, guys? Like, if your manager, if your boss over there at that finance company is making 10% more than you, or what if he's making less than you? You're like, I'm gonna get promoted to make less, or what? Does that make sense? Like, you gotta watch that. Well, what I usually say to people if I got a job, I go, all right, in 10 years, what's your job going to be? And they tell me, I go, are you excited out of your mind? And if they go, no, I go, we got to move and do something different. You see what I'm saying there? Does that make sense, Michael? Like, what I'm going to hit you with, guys, I hit you with stuff. I told my children the other day, I had a serious talk with them. I said, this is not opinion stuff. This is facts. That's why I usually have my social media girls say facts when I say, because if I don't know something, like you asked me about horse breeding, I'd be like, I don't know. Get a better horse, I guess. I don't know. Raising cows. I don't know. I got a friend got cows. But you say, all right, let's talk about getting rich. Let's talk about being wealthy. Let's talk about having fun. Is you with me? I'll be like, all right, facts. Here we come. So on this stuff, like one of the things I constantly do in my life is say, am I listening to the right person? Is this really? And I look at the other success, like if they've produced another success, but if they've produced a flop and they've produced a flop and they've produced a flop, Joe, I'm out. Brian Adams, my CEO, he ain't no flop, Bo, and don't produce flops. He don't like flops. He against it, in case I don't, fully enunciate the entire word. I call again it. It's like, how's your mama name? Again it. I'm again it. Again, I am against that philosophy of failure. Does that make sense? Okay. So you see how all of a sudden me and Michael talking the same language. Now I always think about Superman when I think about Reeves. I don't know why that comes together, but right when I met him, I was thinking Superman. And then I couldn't figure out why when he said that kind of sordid background, like had to quit college and family. I mean, I understand that. My daddy had to do that. He had to quit. He had to come home, help farm. He was at NC State and had to come home and farm. And by the way, guys, I don't have a master's degree. I don't have a PhD in finance. I got a degree in textile. I'm a textile engineer. I'm an engineer. I was getting my master's degree in business. I stopped. You know why I stopped, Michael? One guess why I tossed my master's degree and stopped. You got any idea? It's something me and you have in common.
You make more money doing something else.
I got an Amway, and they told me I could get rich without continuing to go to class. And I said, I'm out. My wife was like, you going to quit your master's degree like that? I was like, I hate it. I have nightmares now about it. I'm out as quick as I can. And they told me I could get rich. So I said, all right, I'm done. And a lot of things. I quit. I was putting money in 401k, Michael, immediately stopped putting money in 401k and started pouring it into my Amway business. Stopped my master's degree, stopped my 401k, started putting all my money. I had already got $120,000 saved up in my 401k, and I just stopped putting any more in there and spent all that money to build my business immediately. All right, Eric. Typically, I save the best for last, but let's see. If I said this to you, I go like, hey man, I don't know what you got. College degree, military, married, divorced, a doctor, lawyer. Just sell me on you. And don't sell me about what you want to do. A lot of people, I say sell me, and then they start telling me what I want to do. I don't care. I want to know what you've done. What stamp you're out. And let me say this. Before he talks, let me give you all this. Number 10 in the United States of America, of all the people I've ever hired, he ranks as number 10. So you could be like, dadgummit, I should be number 9. I go like, you're number 10. You made it into top 10. Year's not over with. I got guys coming for you. Jose Compton is coming for you. When you meet Jose in Miami, I'm going to put y'all two together face to face. And I'll be like, Jose, we'll see. I want to see July 14, 15, 16. By the way, if you're just joining us right here, if you hold your phone over that, let me see if it works. You hold your phone over that, you can sign up for our convention coming. Yeah, it works. Put it on photo, hold it over, attach on it, and that's how you buy your convention ticket right there. You have to test stuff. If you don't inspect, Eric, then you don't expect. So that's how you sign up. And then I got right here is all my contact information, because I ain't hiding, because I ain't scared. All my social media that's blowing up, where we're getting a lot of young, sharp people. Eric's number 10 in the United States of America. Eric, I am not happy about that at all. I feel like Brant Swindell should be smoking you like a cheap cigar. He's brilliant. He's about 1.5 feet taller than you. And Mike Morisi up there in Chicago. He's a selling machine. I think he should be. Jonathan Megan Yakey. I know daggum well. There's just two of them. Well, they just had a baby, so I don't know. Stephen Holly Davies. He got about 3,000 existing clients. He should be more than you. Marvin O'Soon. I know he should be bigger than you. Mike Guerra. I can't say about Mike. Mike, listen to this. Mike's only been with us. I don't have a hierarchy numbers, but he's one of the biggest hierarchies in the company. He's only been with us 2 years, not even 2 years. And yet he's still ranked number 18 in the company. So here's the deal. To get in the top 10 the rest of the year, Eric, some of these people coming for you. Valerie Taylor. Listen, this girl, brand new. This is her first. No. Last year was her first year. She won an all expense paid trip to Ireland. Got to know her and her husband, Brandion. I met her husband, Brandion. This is her second full year, Eric, second full year, like a Ponte, Ponte's only been with us 6 months. She's already number 20 in the United States of America with 122,000. 122,000 should not be number 20. That should be number 96. But it's number 20. It's the best group I've got so far. Does that make sense? So Eric's number 10 in the United States of America. He has some unusual techniques we're not going to get into. But then again, if we talk about unusual techniques, we'd have to talk about 2 also. He's very unusual. Not typical is another way to put it. But Eric, tell me what have you stamped off on? What have you clicked? What's in your past? Tell me some good stuff, because I really want to work with you. So give me some good reason.
Well, first of all, Andy, thank you so much for this opportunity. What you have done and what you have created with the Alliance is an opportunity for anyone out there in the United States. And so there's a lot of people who talk about winning championships, and the bottom line is you actually win those championships. And anybody who wants to be surrounded by you, they can do the same. And so I just thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for just the leadership that you're providing. My mind has been blown about what the Alliance is doing across the nation, and just really fired up to do that. My background is I've got my education-wise, I've got a bachelor's degree, I have 2 masters and a doctorate. If I would have known that this insurance industry was even a thing 20 years ago, I would not have spent.
Are you exaggerating?
No, sir.
What university and what doctorate? Where?
So my previous life was in the ministry. So my undergrad is in psychology and sociology. I went to get a master's in education and master's of divinity in the church world. And then I also went on and got a doctorate in ministry, which was across North America, and then I've traveled all over the world with the ministry. So it took me about 17 years to complete all of that, way over 6 figures in putting that towards that education. But if I would have known about this, I would have gotten $200 for my license, and I would have it would have been completely different. So that was my education. As far as what I've done, I spoke all over the country and all over the world. I come from a really small town in Arkansas. My family did not have money whatsoever. I came from, my parents had been divorced a couple times before. Just did not. My dad worked in a factory. My mom was a teacher, and I started a ministry where I spoke, like I said, all over the country, all over the world. I started with nothing. Got on Facebook, and I was like, you know what? About 2007, 2008. I thought, you know what? I think I can build some relationships here. And so I went to having no speaking engagements to actually traveling 45 weeks a year all over the country. And it all happened through social media back then. And then I ended up going through a life change, got into this industry, met you, and going to the top. Can't wait.
So why is he not a multimillionaire yet, guys? System. You could be on a bicycle racing a guy on a Ferrari, and you ain't going to beat him. You say, well, I'm in really good shape. I don't care. I'm a speedster racer. I don't care. Still bicycle. And if it's a long race, I can beat you on a moped. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, system, people, association. So the lowest ranked education wise, who would it be? Is it the doctorate in ministry? Is it finance? Or is it Amway, network marketing? You know how many cassette tapes this guy's listened to? Way more than you would have to do to get through a 4-year college. You know how many seminars he's paid for? Like thousands and thousands and thousands of thousands of dollars. Like way more than a 4-year education, and way more worth it. So I don't know. You know what we're going to do? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to look at a leaderboard. Right now, 2's kicking y'all's butt. And I get it. You're number 1, number 2 in a smaller organization. It's the big pond. When I compare myself, and then people say, I don't compare myself. I love these people because they're easy to beat. They say, I just compare myself to me. I just try to get better every day. I try to compare myself to Kid Rock. You with me? You say, you can't sing, you ain't Kid Rock. I'm talking about in success, influence, who I know, who I network with, who I can change, how many people I can help, how many people, like if I can create the feeling that Kid Rock creates. Okay. I also like the guy Kiss. He's very successful. I was just talking to one of my guys, one of my buddies, this multi-millionaire, and he had Gene Simmons was on his board, and Gene Simmons was giving an advice. People started talking to Gene wanted to buy his product. Gene said, I don't sell insurance. I'm just the board of directors. So people started bothering him. He got off the board. He said he got off the board. He didn't like people bothering him about that. He said, I'm still good friends with him, but he said, I don't want people trying to get me to sell insurance. I'm not an insurance seller. But this guy can't even sing. I met him one time in person Eric, he's smart as ever. He speaks like, you can look it up and Google it, but it's like 8 languages. But what more impresses me is his accent. He can talk in a New York Jew accent or an Alabama country music singer accent. And then he can do that in Chinese. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand a word of Chinese, not to mention whether I know if you're a redneck Chinese or whether you know what I'm saying. I can't tell. He can do it. That's good. So why is that important? Because he can relate to people. By the way, I spent about $2,000 on that seminar where I met him. I still love it. So I believe, listen, you ain't met nobody that believes in seminars more than me. The guy that I was paying the money for has passed away now. You talk about somebody I love. This guy, first he says, here's the way you increase your sales, Eric. Michael, you sell more, or you sell bigger, or you repeat to the same person more. Those are the 3 ways to do it. Now, with a distribution, you get more people. You get them to sell more. You get them to sell a bigger product. You get them to repeat customers. And then people say, it could be this, it could be that. My man said it's those 4 things. So that's the 4 things I try to work on. Okay? This guy was dying. He did a video. He said, I just want to tell y'all, it's been the best life ever. I've lived my dreams out. You guys help support me. I'm passing the baton on this dude. I'm friends with the dude he passed it on to, but I don't follow him because he's a young whippersnapper like me. He's actually younger than me. But the old man, and he said, I'm dying bad. I won't see y'all no more. It's my last talk. I was watching the video. He said, hey, listen, I didn't die. So I got a couple more things for you. I love y'all. And he started telling again. And he said, I'm definitely gone this time. And I mean, I was crying. And he came back one time. He said, I'm definitely dead. He said, y'all ain't going to see me no more. And he did 3 after he said he's going to die. And it was like a matter of 2 weeks. He just kept coming back on talking trash, how much he loved his life and helping people, making a difference, writing books. If you message me directly, I'll tell you who he is and you get his books. But I'm not going to promote him. He's dead. But the guy that took over, his books are still there. I got thousands. Well, I think thousands. I got hundreds. Listen to this. I'll tell you this, Eric. When I was at a seminar, I went back in the back. I said, how much for everything? You know how they say, you know how they try to get you, right? They get you. Come back and buy it, right? And most people go like, you're not getting me. You know what I do? You're going to get me. I'm coming back there. So I'm looking at everything he's got. And I said, how much for everything? And I want a discount. So some people get hit for $500, $100, $50. You know those guys that buy the stickers? And they go back in the back because they don't want to get robbed, right? They don't get smoked by me. Look, sign up my convention. You're not going to check me. I'm not signing up a convention. But I'd done signed up convention 3 months ago. Whenever you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they go, at the convention, they're going to try to sell me on President's Club or buying a book or cassette tape or audio. I'm the biggest sucker you ever met. You know why? Because you can't build a team if you ain't a sucker. You got to be a great you can't be a great leader if you ain't a great follower. If you're a bad follower, you're a terrible leader. You're a terrible leader if you're a bad follower. I'm the best follower. You ask Brian. Ain't nobody further up in there than I am. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Mike Fosbury at CFG. Ain't nobody a bigger follower of Mike Fosbury. The trick is, does that make sense? Guess it was $42,000. I remember. And I said, hit it hard. Hit my credit card. And I said, ship it up. I ain't carrying nothing around. I don't carry stuff around. You want to sell me something? Tell me you'll ship it to me. My furniture out my yard out there, Thailand. Wrap it up. I ain't bringing it back. Does that make sense, Eric?
Yes.
The only thing that I'm like doing this on myself, like, what is wrong with you? I just liked Eric's personality, and I've never asked him why he qualifies. And I just did, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because I hated that I liked you so much, and then I found out you'd be a dum-dum. I'd have felt bad about it. Does that make sense? I should have interviewed you before I dated you. But, hey, the only thing I will say this, number 10 in the country. Oh, look at here. Oh, come right here and say, hey, please. Your hair looks beautiful. Let's see. I don't know how this machine works. this is interesting. How are we going to do this? How about this? I'll get out of the picture and you get in the picture. Is that crazy?
It used to be different.
It used to be this background.
Okay.
So if you do that, you can get all my contact information in case you don't have it. And that's how you sign up.
I might need that.
You follow my social media.
Okay.
Keep an eye on me. Thanks for the coffee.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. Tia did it. She did it for 10 other people limited. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it available to President's Club people too. Here's another thing that I got. I'll think of his name in a minute. I got his name. He's a friend of mine. Multi-millionaire. Seminar, 4,000 people. And he said, don't come up to me and ask for my phone number. And he put his phone number up there. 4,000 people. Put his phone number up there. I texted him one day and I said, hey, I was one of the 4,000 people. He said, good to hear from you. And I said, it's Andy Albright. He said, I remember you, the Amway guy that turned in an insurance company. It's big, right? I said, yes, sir. That is me. He's a big social media coach guy. They got me for $45,000 for a mentorship mastermind that day. That was a great pitch, though. Dean Graziosi, hanging out with him. He talked me into it. I was like, all right, whatever. It's $45,000. Can my daughter come? Yeah. Also bought a $50,000 Rolls Royce on that trip for my daughter over the internet. It's been sitting in my basement for about 6 years. And one of my staff told me, he said, you can fix that up and it'd be beautiful. So it's about 25-30% fixed up. Me and a Rolls Royce 1956. The experiences. All right, Joe, you remember what I asked you?
You asked me a lot of things, Andy.
I'm talking about earlier when I said you wouldn't listen to me when you said, how do I get people to grow? How to build a team? I'm doing, here's what he said. Listen to me. I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything you do. And I started laughing at him. No, you're not. But you kind of tell that story, how I was kind of getting in your face. And then you was kind of giving me that finance, master's degree, PhD, rhetoric. And I was like, I ain't got time to study all that. Kind of. And then, I know you know how to do it, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, Andy. So again, thank you for just, being stubborn with me, right? Keep on pounding. and just, having faith that, eventually see the light. And it's the conversation I have with Andy is real simple. Hey, how do you get these guys to actually do something? Like, we're building a team, got a lot of people, but they're just, names on a piece of paper until they start hitting the leaderboards, right? I mean, it's so it's one thing to find them, but how do you actually help them make a difference? And Andy, I remember this conversation. He says, real simple, get them to the events. I said, well, come on. A lot of these people, they probably know, what they need to know, and why, what are they going to get there that we can't just teach them ourselves, or, run a Zoom meeting and and Andy said, no, you got to get them to the events. Just watch and see. So, how they say that the definition of insanity is bang your head on the wall, over and over, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different result. So, hey, you know what? I said, okay, I'm going to invite some people to the events. We got a handful of people in NatCon, in Dallas. And it's just, it's life-changing for people that go to these events because, everyone thinks it's just another convention. I've had a lot of years of experience in the corporate world, working for Fortune 500 companies, private companies, publicly traded. We go to a lot of different events. And so people have this stereotype of what an event is. It's a quote unquote seminar. You sleep through half of it, and right. But proof is in the pudding. I'm really proud of my team because everyone that went there, they literally signed up for the next event that day when they're still there. Every single person. And not only did they sign up, they were also planning on bringing more people. So of course, the next event was The View, Denver, and now we've got more people coming on board, right? And again, so like Andy says, just get them to the event. Once you bring them to one event, have them bring one or two people, and then those one or two people are going to bring one or two people, and before you know it, you've got a team that's all fired up, excited, ready to go. So Denver, that's what happened. We had more people in Denver. And after Denver, they actually start doing things, right? They start booking appointments. They start getting on the leaderboards. Gosh, we had one agent that booked one of his first appointments, and we ran an appointment together. And it was like literally over $22,000 annual premium. One appointment. Funny how that works, right? You get them, but yeah, he had to book the appointment. and we're just setting records every day, Andy. I don't know if I even mentioned this to you. I helped another agent. Again, we're just trying to get them started quickly, run appointments together. And her first client booked with me. We ran it together. App submitted, annual premium $33,600. So the numbers just get bigger and bigger. But where did it come? It's about getting people to go to the events, and they start bringing more people, and then people see what everyone's doing, right? And now in Miami, Andy, we have even more people going to Miami. Look at that. Everyone that went to Denver signed up for Miami, and they got extra tickets. I also picked up a couple of extra tickets, right, myself, because I knew that we're growing, and there are going to be people that are going to want to be there. And, we want to make sure everyone can get there and, at the lowest prices possible. So I picked up a couple extra tickets, and hey, they're all gone, for new agents that came on after Denver. And so it continues, Andy. And hey, so you were right. I mean, and here's the thing, that we actually have a training. We actually have a training session weekly that we call it the Alliance Scoreboard, because it's all about hitting the scoreboard, right? And and what we tell everyone is you follow the people who have the scoreboard. Even if you don't agree, even if you think you might be able to do it better, until you have your own scoreboard, hey, follow that person that's got the scoreboard, because that person's doing something right. So we're super excited, Andy. Miami's going to be huge. People don't realize it. It's like, it's not just another seminar. When you get people there, they actually leave and they do something, and that shows up on the leaderboards. Look at Adrian. I don't think he had a single dollar in annual premium before he went to Denver. I mean, we went to Dallas first, and then he got it. And between Dallas and Denver, he's bringing more people, and now we're going to get more people from that. So it's and even with my master's degree, Andy, I can't figure out why that works or why it is. But it doesn't matter. It's like magic. So you just go with it, right? Who cares how it works? Just get them to the events. And, you get them to the national events, but get them to the hot spots. That's like the gateway drug. Get them there first. Give them a little taste. Get them on Zoom events, right? It doesn't matter. Got to start somewhere. And once you get them plugged in, and then that's the thing about this organization, Andy, just the culture that you've put together, right? Everyone that wants to help each other. I mean, it's different. And I've been in a lot of different organizations, companies, and different, even those that profess to be kind of super open and all that. I mean, there's a reason why they call it family reunion, because we're really one big family. And that's really hard to find. That's actually the reason why I first got started, because, it was different, the people, the culture. Andy, when I first started, I figured the worst thing that could happen is if I don't sell a single dollar, at least I can get some good training. And it works. The numbers don't lie. How do you say that, Andy? Liars figure, but figures don't lie. Is that?
Some people say, I don't like graphs. It don't show you what I'm going to do. I go, no, I don't. I'm an engineer. It's called historical. And unfortunately, if you read the Bible or history books, history repeats itself. Sorry. Well, I feel like anybody can turn around. Yeah, I do too. I think it's just easier to keep kicking ass than it is to turn around. Because to turn around, you got to humble yourself. And most people won't humble themselves. They're too arrogant to turn around. You know it? Hey, I have made a mistake. It's not colossal, but it's a mistake. I have slighted Sean Pfeiffer. who is outselling your Aponte dude. Sean is ranked number 39 in the company. I typed in 2 and it came up Sean Pfeiffer before Adrian. So I can type in, I can just pop down and see how many people are on 2's organization. So he's got 148. Is that what it was? 48? Yep. He's got 148 and he's got 139. So Michael, we can do Reeves and see where he pops up. No, I ain't doing it to him. I guarantee you he's passed a lot of people. Let's see. Let's see where Reeves pops up. R-E-E-V.
It's REA.
REA, good, because I didn't like the way that one popped up. REAV.
ES. That's right.
Not bad. Not, 84. So your best guy ranks 84 in the country. Eric. Not terrible. Past couple thousand people.
It can be better.
Hey, how long you been with us, Michael?
It was a year in May.
Okay, so really, this is your first full year.
Yes, sir.
Let's see where you end up at the end of the year, Bo. All right, I got another number for you. You're gonna like this one, Eric. You're gonna like it and not like it. My boy 2 and his team has produced $420,395,000 in premium in 5 months. So if you take 5 divided into, this is called your intas. I don't know if y'all know intas, but if you put 5 into 420, I'm a wizard when it comes to math, and I got my calculator in my hand. He's averaging $84,000 a month. Okay. Before you started now let's be clear, before he started bringing people to events, he was averaging probably, I can tell you what he was averaging. You take 201,000 585 divided by 5. He was averaging 40,000. Now he's at 84,000. You know how I know that? Because that's his personal production. And now when you add his team to it, so basically he's added 44,000 a month in his hierarchy. So at a 10% spread, that's a $50,000 pay raise. So since he got sucked in, started coming to my events, he increased his income $50,000. Now that pays for every event, hotel, flights, and everything. Now he gets Adrian copying him quicker. He gets Sean copying him quicker. Now he goes to 250,000. Hey, is that young guy coming? The one that I like so much too. Is he coming to the event? Has he got a ticket?
Yeah, he's coming, and he's got 2 friends that are coming as well. 2 downlines already. So we've got 3 in a week. We added 3 more underneath him.
All right, let me tell y'all something. Here's a big secret too. Talking to a guy, another Michael, super sharp guy. Love this dude. And he said, our goal, and he told me his goal, and I said, don't do that to me, bro. Here's what you do. You go to that young sharp dude and you say, how many people you think you can get going? You got 2. He says, you don't really have, he's got 2. He's got 2 people, not T-U, it's T-O, T-W-O, okay? He got 2 people going. That's funny. He got 2 and you got 2. All right, so he's got 2 people coming. Ask him what he thinks he can get by July 14, 15, 16. Then you go to Aponte and you ask him what he thinks he can get. Then you go to Sean, see what he thinks. And that's your goal. So if you add and then you talk about how many you can get outside of that. So you go to furthest down and see how much, which each one, and then add that together. That's your goal. And then people say, but if we do half of that, I'll be happy. I go, don't tell them that. Because you want each person on your team to hit their goal. 2, you tracking? I have taken you from the basic principle of get your people to a meeting to how to grow exponentially. This is called multiplication as opposed to addition. So from 40 to 84,000, it's been addition. Now we're doing multiplication, baby. We doing our dumbs. 1'em, 3'em, 4'em, 5'em, 10'em. If you want to grow 10x, we call that 10'em. So 10 to 84 is $840,000 a month. 10% spread is $84,000 a month. You ain't making $1 million, but you dang sure knocking on the door. That's an overrides, by the way. It's how you grow a church, too, in case you didn't know that, Eric. Preacher can't do all the work. Got to give him some deacons. Deacons got to go to work. Stay away from the organist. You tracking with me? All right. So, 2, you were tough, Bo. He was tough, Eric. He say, why does it work? I said, why does gravity work? And daggum, he started explaining it to me. I said, bro, I don't care why gravity works. Here's what I know. Anytime the pressure above this pin is greater than the pressure pushing down on it, it don't move. When I release the pressure, it drops. It's called gravity. It's a rule. It's a law. It's a law. Works. Try to make me drop this pin. You can't make this drop this pin. Yeah, I can. No, you can't. You can shoot me, but you didn't make me drop the pin. That's just a law. You can't make a person do anything. I can make the pin, but you didn't make me do it. So you can't make anybody do anything, but they can of their free will do it. That's a law. That is there's a thing called entropy. I think that's the word. I might want to look it up. Somebody text me if I'm messing up here on my words. Anything left to its own devices deteriorates. Period. That's why people go like, I want to do it my way. I don't want input. It's going to deteriorate. Unless it's acted on by a superior force. So it says, I'm going to listen to this force. Well, if the force giving you direction is worse than you will deteriorate. If the force acting on you is greater than you will accelerate. Does that make sense? So human nature and your business being acted on by a greater, you will greater. Acted on by a lesser, you will lesser. You heard all this in Amway, right, Michael? This is not new to you. That's what I love about this. You've heard it 1,000 times. This watch was not created by evolution. There were not nuts and squirrels out in the woods and developed into this watch. A greater force built it. This is my explanation of God. There is no God if we're not greater. But because we're greater, we were created by something greater. This is a watch because something greater fixed it. Who was it? Man, not squirrels. That's why I don't think animals are people, because they can't make Rolex watches. I ain't saying nothing negative about kids that think they're animals either. You can't make me say anything negative about them.
Well, Andy, I'll tell you.
Here we go. Hold on to your hat. This is going to be big.
I got to tell you, it was brilliant of you to encourage everyone to go to these events by offering bonus points.
Tell them about it, too. Tell them about it.
Yeah. So everyone knows we're going to New Zealand next year, right? Already qualified myself, so I didn't necessarily need the bonus points. But you know what?
In 5 months, he's qualified. And without bonus points.
But for new agents coming on board, I mean, gosh, 60,000 bonus points, right? For anyone that started after January and anyone that started before January, like started last year, it's 40,000 bonus points for each event. I mean, that's 40 times 4. Hey, simple math, that's 160,000 bonus points, right? That you're going to rack up if you've never been on a trip before. Now, for all the new agents that started after mid-January of this year, well, you get to catch up with 60,000 bonus points each trip, right? So you got another 120,000 bonus points left to earn just by showing up. And the reason why Andy decided to, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Andy, it's because you know how important this is, right? You know how people are going to, I mean, you get them in with the bonus points, but they're going to walk away with a lot more than just bonus points in their back pocket, right? They're going to end up really being able to earn their own points on top of the bonus points. And then it's not that hard to qualify. I mean, 60,000 times 2, that's 120,000 bonus points. Anyone starting out with this right now, you need 250,000 to qualify. So you're halfway there. You only need to earn about 130,000 bonus points. And points on top of the bonus points. I mean, and, you know, I tell people all the time, Andy, people sign up for all these credit cards, right? You get these hotel bonus points or bonus miles, airline cards, right? People pay to just get the points. Well, how is this any different? Get yourself some bonus points and just wait and see how much you're going to learn. You know, worst thing that could happen is you have some bonus points for the trip. And I mean, if you know, if you don't go to the trip, I mean, if you don't go to the event, you know, tell me if you're going to be able to write up $60,000 worth of business. If you can't, a lot easier just to show up.
It's not how much it costs you to go. It's what does it cost you not to go? What does it cost not to go? What's the price on not going? Staff, can y'all bring Michael back in? I see him on there, but he's not front and center because he's the next one I want to go to. All right. Michael decided to go to our event because of free points. He went, why would I not go? Went. So my question to you is, what did you get and how much more money have you already made? Michael Reeves, how much have you already made? Not how much did it cost you. What have you made and what have you got out of it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think the bonus points are brilliant, and that is actually what fired me up when I heard the announcement late last year, you know, about the trips. I really didn't know a whole lot about them. I just got curious and started digging on the ARC and trying to find out what all this meant. And when I found out that I could get 160,000 bonus points for attending events, you just do the math, just do the ROI. I could spend a couple of grand to go to events, and I'd put the price on this, you know, this New Zealand trip for two. You know, that's a $20,000 trip in my mind, if not more. It's like, it's just business. It's just math. I can just make the investment, but I know I got to do my production on top of that. So, you know, I know at least $50,000 more, and I've got more money coming. So I'm going to be in the $60,000, $70,000 range before I qualify for the trip. I've got 189,000 points so far, and I'm like, this is what fired me up to make 2023 my year, to just make it happen. It's New Zealand, and I heard about Ireland last year. I was like, hey, that would have been cool. Everyone's going to Ireland, or it's already almost announced. And I say, well, I'm going to catch the next one. And of all the places on earth, that's on my bucket list to get to New Zealand. And the other thing is, you know, my plus one is my wife, and she wants to go too. So she's 120,000% behind me to get out there and hustle. She wants to go, and she's like, she's not going to be happy if I miss it. So I ain't missing it. But it was the bonus points. It was understanding that got me fired up to make it happen.
I know you're going to make 50,000, and that's more that futuristic. Since you've went, can you put a dollar amount on more commission that you've made that you wouldn't have made? Is it possible to do a math on that? I mean, Two's people went from 0 to what he said. So I don't know if you can put a dollar what you made that you wouldn't have made. I'm excited about your future, but is there any dollar amount on that?
Well, I'll just be transparent. Last year, from May until December, I had $5,600 in the ARC, and I split some commissions with Eric on some work that we did. So, you know, my first, was it 7 months? I had just over $5,000, and coming into January now, you know, I got some commission coming this month, so I'm gonna be right there in the $60,000 range just since January. And that's the motivation from going to New Zealand, but it got me to convention. And you know my history, you know, being in network marketing, being in Amway, conventions are non-negotiable for me. That's just the way I look at them. I will, and this is a testimony, 6 months, $5,600. Go to NatCom first of the year, I'm 6 months accelerated beyond what I would have done if I would have just stayed at home. Now I went to the View, another 6 months accelerated, And that's the way I look at it. You build from convention to convention, from event to event. You build from event to event. It's getting that energy, it's getting that fire, and then when you get people going like two, man, that is the multiplying, the exponential of what events can do for you. And it's non-negotiable. And I've heard this before. I know you have too. You don't have to go to conventions to make money, but everyone who's making big money is at the conventions. And I'm okay making money, but I want to make big money. So what do? I do what the big money makers do. I show up, hang around, get at the table with the movers and the shakers. And that, to me, that happens when you're physically in the same room. You're looking at people on stage. I didn't know. I am naive. I am ignorant to all of this. I didn't know you could make $1 million. I mean, I've seen leaderboards that I'm exposed to. I didn't know that anyone can make $1 million. And then I show up, Megan Woods walking across as $1 million earner. My mind expanded 100%. It's like, this isn't just a little thing. This isn't just something that's small. This is something that is powerful. This is something that can change my life and the destiny of my family. So I'm there, and I will be there, and it's non-negotiable, Andy.
All right. I got a girl watching a show named Candy, okay? And she sells like you sell, except for she don't sell as much as you sells, Eric. Maybe she don't want to. Maybe she don't feel competition. Maybe she's one of those people that says, I'm just trying to do better than me. Well, see, I'd be trying to whoop Eric's butt. So I want y'all to meet at convention. I want to take people that sell on social media and recruit on social media and put you together and let you compete. The people in 403B, I want to put you, the teachers market, I want to put you together. And then I want to take the direct mail people and put them together with direct mail people and let them compete. Then I want to take the internet leads people, the $9 leads, and let them compete. Then what I want to do is you to see the benefit of the other and try to use both of them. BOFUM. Okay? Both of them. Both of them. Okay? Don't be a ding dong. Don't be a rabbit hole. Don't be a one-trick pony. Learn. Let me tell you something. I spoke in front of 100 millionaires, actually billionaires. I spoke in front of, and you know what my topic was that Brian Adams gave me? Show them how to add a product line. I lit them up. That was crazy. I'm sitting there looking at people. Listen to this, Michael. Looking at people that are making $3 million a month, clear net. Oh yeah. And he asked me to talk about how I added a product line. He asked several of us to do that because we're all stronger when we're together. We're all stronger when we understand all the options. That'd be like telling Tiger Woods, where his name is, that he's great at driving, but he can't putt. Putting's critical. It's not like driving. It's not like sand game. I go, come on, bro. You got to be good at all. Andy, you're asking a lot to ask a player to play defense, offense, and special teams. I know. I get it. I am. You know why? Because I think you're capable. Because you three are smart. Now, I do want to address the dummies out there, okay? Hey, dummies, I love y'all because y'all are a lot of fun. Because if you ain't fun, you're out, okay? Here's what me and you got to do. I always say I'm a country old redneck, like raising goats. Hey, just got me a fainting goat. To be clear, I said fainting. I didn't say any other word. He's a fainting goat. And a miniature donkey. Okay? Just got them. They came in this weekend, baby. Love them. Y'all got to come to my cabin. Matter of fact, what I want to do for next, I almost did it for the last 30 minutes of this. I want to get on my people that's out in my cabin this weekend. We shot 500 rounds, 9mm. We shot 12 gauge, 20. We shoot ski, had a blast playing with a donkey, fishing, catching 10-pound bass, 10-pound stripers. So much fun, and hanging out all night. So much fun. Okay. At these events, I want to talk to the other people that have a master's degree in finance, and he networks with health markets. Okay. So anybody, and I want people to learn what he does. But here's what I don't want you to do. Where you been? Your production went down. Well, I've been learning how to sell on the internet. What? You was killing it with direct mail. Why did you stop? Or how about this? I don't hear from you, Eric. Hey, my production went down because I've been trying to learn direct mail sales. No. It's addition. It's addition. I thought you liked multiplication. I like math. I'm a mathematical wizard. I'm cocky about my math when I got this right here in my hand. When I got my calculator, I'm a mathematical wizard. And if I look at you and you ain't never sold an annuity, but you sold 97 apps, you've been in 67 homes and not one annuity, you ain't no good at selling annuities. I need you to get me my annuity guys. You ain't never sold an other? What's an other? Accidental, cancer, indemnity plans. You're leaving money on the table. Okay? All right. Megan Wood. Oh my gosh. Multi-million. Terry Edwards. What a genius. Two. How crazy was it when I did a Zoom call with you? You need to get Terry Edwards to come on your Zoom call and teach. Because you know how you don't listen to me, but then you listen when Terry Edwards tells you, when Adam Katz tells you, you finally give up. You need to get Terry talking to your team. He'll change everything. He's number 2 in the United States of America. You get Jeff Schultz on there and talk about selling annuities. You need Marcus. Oh, I want to ask you, Marcus Richardson is an incredible preacher. Oh, also, Eric, I have a nonprofit called Worldwide Entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, I wanted to call it Worldwide Entrepreneurs but my ministers told me that we couldn't do that. How you like that name? So I have Merle Menon, who is master's in accounting, worked for big name firms. I think he worked for BASF, but he's in India and he represents my company. He's adopted 22 or 23 little girls when they were going to get killed in India. He's got 3 kids of his own that I'm good friends with all of them. And he'll be at our convention. He's going to talk about the ministry. Okay. I finance the playground and we're right in the middle of financing a cafeteria. I forget how many people it'll serve. This is in India. He travels worldwide. He's all over the U.S. He raises money, and I match every dollar he raises. So if he raises $100,000, I write a check for $100,000. I already got the money stored in a. I can explain this to y'all, but it's a self-directed charity that I already deposited the money in, millions, and then it can match. So I'm going to have him at convention, and he's going to do a Sunday morning optional. Nobody's got to go to our church. We don't care. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to believe in whatever you want to believe in. We don't care. But we have optional service. And Marcus Richardson, who is number 1, 2, 3, 4 in the company, he's good. I mean, he's good. He ain't perfect. He's just good, really good preacher. And then we're going to have our band and our singers. Alex Abian, he's a big collection of electric guitars. We got a professional sax player. We got singers. And by the way, this girl, number 5 in the country, she organizes events like this Sunday morning that we're going to do. And she's a piano player and unbelievable. And she got paid to play the piano, not just play. She paid to play it and sing and a big on mission. So that's going to be, so as a minister, I want to let you know that's going to happen so you get your mind right. Because I want to, hear you sometimes and see how you deliver the message, Not kidding, but been all over. And by the way, talking to somebody, talk to somebody that starts telling you about another country and they ain't never been, or they tell you about the people in another country and they ain't never been. As my son said, we've been, Daddy. We know differently. I was like, yeah, we know differently because we've been there. And if you spent some time outside of the touristy areas, that's another thing, which you did as a minister. So I know your mind is bigger. That's another, that's a resume. Okay. So I want to get people together. And also I've got a grid. This grid that I have tells me, like Terry Edwards has moved 4 annuities, 7 IULs, 3 FEs, 4 others, and 88 Medicare and 2 other life. So he's did 4 other life and 2 other life. So there's not a category he misses. Megan Wood, you want to hear her numbers per category? You're going to throw up. Annuities 3, IULs 46, final expense 316, other life policies 341, Medicare 241, and then other indemnity, all that 550. She's obsessed. And I can pull her. I pull her hierarchy up too if you want to see it. I want to see it. No, y'all want to see it?
Yeah, let's see it.
Might as well. Also, here's what I want you to talk about, Eric. Is as you've come into the alliance, just as you've come into it, you found out about the registered investment advisor. You find out about President's Club. You find out about leads. You find out about internet leads. You found out about Facebook leads. You found out. I want you to talk about the things that what it offers, that if people don't know about them, how much value they're missing. The ARC, things that you've seen there. While I'm pulling up Megan Wood, I'll let you go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. Well, I love to give real life examples and recent examples, not just past stuff. And so with a recent example, I've got an agent that, I'll just be real honest, he was struggling. He was really struggling with kind of the way we were doing some stuff, and was just looking at different options. And, you connected with him. You showed him on the ARC that there is a clear training. Terry Edwards was actually one of those that he watched, and he went out and he ended up booking appointments within literally minutes, y'all, of going through the training that was on the ARC. I mean, step one phone script, what to say, how to say it, what to do. And he followed it. He learned it quickly. He didn't take 6 months to learn it. He went through there, he learned it, he got on the phone, booked the appointment, and right now as we're speaking, he's sitting down helping a client. And so it's powerful, the resources that we have. And literally with everything that's at our fingertips, and Andy, everything that you have put together for us in the ARC with the Alliance, I mean, literally from A to Z, all the products, all the training that we need. If we're not earning at least 6 figures, if we're not building a team, the only problem, the only issue is the person in the mirror. And this agent's going to be fired up. He is going to start making some serious money and building a team. And it's because of the resources, because what's there.
Do you know how to get to that? Can you remember how to get that? You think you can tell them? So you go on the ARC. Where do you click? Do you remember?
Yeah, I believe it's on resources. I believe it's down on resources, and then one of those tabs right there, and it takes you to the training, and literally it will say, I think it's step number 1, phone script.
It says you click on resources, then you go halfway down. It says get started fast.
That's it. Yep. That's it.
And then it's got phone script, how to get leads, how many leads to get. It's got the green sheet for finding money. You just go down this rapidly. It's not perfect, but it's done. How about,
or you can just go on NAAuniversity.com, and that'll get you right there.
Straight to it. You can go straight to NAA University.
It's on the homepage. You can't miss it. Getting started quickly. It's right there.
University is hard to spell for some people. You go to ARC.
Okay. Yeah.
ARC's
shorter.
No, NAA University works. Blown away. It was something else you were blown away with, Eric. The registered investment. How many annuities do you think, now that you understand this concept, how powerful can that be to move money without not having them to argue with their advisors? You can just move.
Absolutely. I mean, especially if you have a brand new agent, if you have an agent who is maybe only sold life insurance and they really don't know the conversation, how to navigate that, or they have an upline that maybe is focused on another area, this is going to be serious for them. It's going to be very vital for them as well, where you can navigate the conversation. And here's the thing that I've learned as well. With the annuity conversation, the retirement rollover, it's really not that hard. You have just got to know what questions to ask, how to ask it, and then be able to do a few, and then you can rock and roll with that. But being able to have a company that's offering every help to walk you through it if you don't know what's going on is crucial. And here's the thing, Andy, if you don't know how to do it, if you have no clue, you've never done an annuity rollover, anything like that, utilizing the company, like, you're literally going to make serious cash. Not only are you adding value and helping that client, which is major for them, but it is a massive payday. And Michael's experienced that tremendously this year. And so it's powerful.
Oh, I had something else going to mess y'all boys up too. And hopefully some people listening too. How much did you get deposited in your checking account from last month?
About 70,000.
Articulate louder. How much?
70,000.
Was it 70,000 even? Was another 1,000 or two on there?
We're just rounding. I mean, 70 and change, maybe 71. You know, after 70, who's counting the extra 1,000, right?
me. All right, so two, I got you here. Listen to this. So Megan Wood, if you hired Megan Wood, she's averaging $191,659. So if you average 10%,
Mm-hmm.
19,000
Yeah.
a month. You ain't rich, but that's one leg. That ain't all your legs. Now, if you only at 5%, 10 grand a month, 120 grand. All right, now watch this. She personally, 615,984 divided by 5, she's personally averaging 123. So she's really only 70,000 a month in override. I mean, you know, people she's overriding. So like two, you're at 43,000 and she's at 70,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You see, it's just math, right? So she's trying to get it to where this is her. Like, but if you're above her, you're overriding the whole thing. But if she only overrides the people she brought on, so she's produced 615,000 is she paid so far, AP. And then her group is 958,000. So like if I hired two, he's did 400,000, she did 958,000. So if I was above two, she's twice only twice as big as two. Two could smoke her.
Yeah, we got a lot of people on our team that are shooting for number one.
Is that crazy? And so much that you can learn from looking at this. It was something else about somebody called me the other day, said, hey, why don't we cut a video on selling IULs? And I was like, that's a great idea, except for we don't want to get in trouble. It's going to be a lot of work. I got to plan it. And I don't think we can get, where's my President Club guy? He says, Andy, our video has somebody in it. Somebody text me about annuities. About annuities and IULs. It's some stupid rich guy. And the video's incredible. Like when you see this video, you go, I should send this to my people. Like it's got to be outrageous. We got it on term. We've got it on premium finance. We've got it on everything, videos, and it's all free at President's Club. We got $75 ads. I had people paying $250 an ad, $200 an ad. We got them for $75. And by the way, it's never how much stuff costs outlay. It's what do you get? If I could get people doing this, Michael, this is really good. What do you get? Like I go, what do I get? Not what does it cost me? It's what do I get? What do I get? Like if guys explain something to me, I go like, what do I get? And I sometimes say to people, you shouldn't look at it like that. How you want me to look at it? I mean, how you think I should look at it? You know, what am I going to get? Because I am in this for legacy. I want my children's children to not worry about finances and stay off of drugs. You with me? And be ambitious. Like, listen to it. Y'all might like this. You might not. Here's what I've been telling my kids since they were little. We were part of the Habsburgs in Austria. We were stupid wealthy. And somebody jacked it up, whether it was government, whether it was an outlaw, they stole our money. And we moved our butt to Pennsylvania from Austria. And then we moved somewhere else. And then we moved to Orange County, North Carolina, where my granddaddy was. And nobody has been the guy to turn it around. We've got to do that. That's what I told him. I went to my family reunion Sunday with my mama, my cousin Jane Albright, not my wife Jane Albright, another cousin Jane Albright, who's just bad to the bone. She stayed on my butt to get me there. I went in there, and they had a history of the family. In the first line, it said, the Albrights of descendants of the wealthy Habsburgs from Austria. I was like, I told them that. And I don't know if I told them that I knew my family was from Austria, but I didn't know that. But I saw it. I started taking pictures of it and sending it to my kids going, I told you, our job. So I want my kids to stand on my shoulders, and then I want their kids to stand on their shoulders. I want to be the one that turns around, the guy. You remember, hey, The View, remember that, Michael? You're the guy, Michael. 2, I heard your history. You're the guy. If you're out there listening to me, let me say this to you. You're the guy in your family. You're the girl, Candy. You're the one. You're the one, Stephanie. You're the one. You're the one, Rojas. You're the one, Jose. You're the one, Dennis. You're the one, Alex. Be the one. And let me tell you something. You can't poop like an elephant if you eat like a butterfly. Y'all hear me? You eat like a butterfly, you're going to poop like a butterfly. You can't halfway take our system and expect to have an explosion like you ate the entire system. You can't buy one book and eat and be as smart as if you get all the books. You can't go to one convention and think you did. You can't go to no convention. Like, you got to eat big if you want to poop big. You got to put the knowledge in. Listen to this. Let me tell you the same thing with leads. Let's say you got cheap leads, but you ain't got many leads. Can't poop like an elephant, eat like a butterfly. You got to figure it out. How do you invest? How do you ingest more? If you want to create a riverboat, you can't drink a glass of water. If you want to be a riverboat, you better start drinking the Kool-Aid. Does that make sense? You can't go to my boy's seminar and buy some books. I said, ship everything to my house. I love them too. I got his books. My staff, I'm always handing them to him and say, look, read this part right here. You see what that says right there? That's what we got to do. Is this helping? All right, takeaways. We got to wrap this thing up. It's like you got 1 minute to. What's your biggest takeaway so far from this call?
Get more people to the event. Just one more.
Okay. You got a whole minute. What else?
Yeah. Hey, this is a great system. I love what you said, Andy, when you said, what is the cost of not going, not doing? That's pretty powerful, right? What is the cost of not doing it?
Oh, you're going to get Terry Edwards. You get Terry on when he calls too, and a couple other good people, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Michael, what's your takeaway, Bo? You got 1 minute.
Oh, sure. Smart people. Surround yourself with smart people. Hire smart people. If you're recruiting down, you're just keeping your team down. You got to recruit up and find your replacement. Don't be intimidated by anybody that's on your team. Have them be better than you.
Yeah, I really don't want to be mean to people that dropped out of high school, dropped out of marriage, dropped out of military, got kicked out of military. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's got problems. I got disasters in my life. I like when people say, "Do you regret anything you done?" Yeah, a lot. I like to be like, I got no regrets. God was guiding me all the way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We all make mistakes. Let's just don't do it going forward. Don't keep repeating the mistake. Get your mess in a little pile. We had one time we went on a cruise. We said, get your ship together. Because you need to get your ship together, get your people on the cruise. But yeah, I want to make sure, all you got to do, if somebody hired me, the AD talked to me about being a basketball coach for NC State. I said, I don't pay enough. But I think what I would do is I would try to get people better than me. The chancellor talked to me about the AD job, athletic director. I said, what does that pay? That's less than a coach. I said, I know I don't want that. But I would get coaches that love football more than me, that are smarter than football. And if I was a coach, I'd get players taller than me. So would you ever recruit somebody dumber than you? I do it every day. God, it's very difficult dealing with those people. They are hard to work with. Woo! And even after they understand it, they don't do it sometimes. So yes, I recruit dumb. I don't have any problem with that. But I don't keep hammering them like I did too. I just go come on, jump on board. Because if you know you're dumb, if you know you're not smart, if you know you're slow, Read the books and jump in full speed and do the system precisely as it's prescribed. It'll work for anybody. I don't care how bad you are. I don't care your history. I guess one girl, she says, I need to get out of my head. I said, what you need to do is read for 15 minutes a day. You can't read 15 minutes a day. You can't do this system. She's like, what? I said, you're not reading. She said, how do you know? I said, I'm a genius when it comes to this business. You're not reading 15 minutes. Tell me that. She said, I just don't know how you knew. I said, lady, what's coming out of your mouth don't make no sense. If you was reading, it would sound differently. That's like you walk into a doctor and he says, bro, you need to lose some weight. You go like, how'd you know? He'd be like, I don't know how I knew. You ain't even stepped on the scales and I knew. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what I do. 15 minutes. I can't get out of my head. Read 15 minutes. I can't get out of my head either, but I can read 15 minutes. I can't get out of my head either, but I listened to audio this morning. I was listening to audio yesterday, and then I talked to a guy who's making about $250,000, and he got run out of business, and I was talking to him, and he told me what he was going to do next, and he said, what do you think? I said, can I tell you something I heard on the audio this morning? And I explained it to him, and you know what he said? What do you do? And I said, interesting you say that. He's in class. He's in class. Got him on the phone with my staff, got him on the phone with Angela out there in Denver. Angela, by the way, she texts me. She did 9,500 2 months ago and 9,600 this month. By the way, Terry Edwards said he'd do that for you. He's texting me. And Warren Buffett, we got Warren Buffett in our IUL videos. Warren Buffett's in our IUL videos. How about that? You can't pay for that. It's free. I would get people better than me, and I wouldn't get out of my head. I would stay in my head, and I can't get out of my own way. Don't worry about getting out of your way. Get a book. Read how to quit worrying and start living. Listen to the audio. Okay. One takeaway. You got TikTok, Eric.
Absolutely. I think we have got to get our people, our team, our future teams as well to move away from, any type of scarcity mindset. And that's what I've taken away from this call. We've got to get into that abundance mindset where we are a team and get people in front of you in your leadership, Andy, and in front of these conventions. What Tu has said, what I've seen in Michael, this is going to explode if we can get our team around these high octane leaders who don't just talk about those championships, but who are winning. And we have the alliance who so many people, it's real funny, real quick, Andy, Michael called me after the convention, and he just says, man, people are making crazy money across the nation, crazy money. And I was like, yeah, we're going to make this too, man. And so leave the scarcity mindsets, leave the fear, get people around people who are actually winning. And that's why there's going to be a lot of people in this organization making a lot more money by the end of the year.
It only takes a minute. It only takes a minute to look at social media that makes no sense. It only takes a minute to check on your high school buddies. It only takes a minute to clean your own house. It only takes a minute. It only takes a minute. Okay? That's all it takes to text the right person, call the right person, to run an ad. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. 5 weeks before this convention. We can literally double in 5 weeks. All that is 2. Your guy that's got 2, if he gets each one of them to get one person, that's 4. And if he gets one more, that's 5. No, that's 6. So he'd go from 3 to 6 like that. It does not have to take forever, but you have to go to the individual and get the individual to have his goal and meet his goal. When individuals hit their goals, you hit your goals. Eric, Michael, same. We got a convention coming up in 5 weeks, and the only thing in between us now and then is 60 seconds. No, let's do minutes. 60 minutes in an hour. So we've got 5 weeks. What's that? Times 7 days. That's 35 days. Divided by, times 35 times 24 times 60. We got 50,040 minutes, according to my math. 5 times 7 times 24 times 60. 50,000 is what I got minutes. How many minutes are you going to work toward getting your team to double? Because I have some smart people who are having some great success. Congratulations, Michael. Congratulations, Eric. Congratulations, too, on your success. Proud of you guys. Future's never been brighter. I hope people got something out of this. And all of you that text me and said, I am the one, I appreciate you doing that. That means a lot to me. And let's team up on this thing, and let's just blow this thing out of the water, guy. All right, love y'all. Hope this was helpful. Team Tia, am I leaving out anything? I feel like I'm pretty good to wrap up. Love y'all.
Thanks a lot, Andy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job. Great job.